Hello everyone and welcome back. The Global Championship Season 5. It started very well, but it ended up very bad. It has been the worst one. We will see what was the result later, but it was really bad. So for core teams, what we have seen is very similar to what we saw before. Dante Octavia, Tristan Oya, Astaroth, Sesa and Aiden or AXA team, and finally Sebastian Jasmine. Okay, it has been the four common teams we have seen. For trends, what we have identified is a lot of split between Oya and Tristan. Instead of being in the same team, they split Oya in one team and Tristan in the other team. An example, Oya, Sebastian, Jasmine, whereas Tristan usually go with Fafnir and Kayla, or Tristan, Kayla, Fafnir and Aiden, and a tank like Clever or Astaroth, something like this is what we have seen so far. Okay. Also, we have seen the use of Dark Derby, particularly with Sebastian and Jasmine, with Oya on top. Okay, this has been the new things we have seen. Okay, so how it went? As I mentioned, the first week, first time without any defeat. Second week, we lost versus Phoenix. I think we could have drawn there, but we didn't do very well. It was one of these bad days. Then we have an amazing battle against local heroes. We draw with them with a lot of luck in our side here, to be honest. Then everything was going okay until we arrived to the last 3 days of the third week, I think it was, where we lost 3 in a row. As you see, except this one, the other one was close by. This particular one made me angry. I think we could have draw with them, but it's okay. It was one loss, nothing else. But the bigger problem was the last day, where we lost with the worst result in the whole global championship, which usually we do 3-9 or 420 or 4-200, but that one 3-6 was very bad in our side. Anyways, 146 I think has been one of the worst results, and is what it is. We should improve for the future. Let's start how it cannot be, which is like losing. Okay, this battle was against a weird team because Fafnir, you don't know, is going to pass Nebula, Dante or Octavia. 3 of them are agility heroes. So I went with this team. It was doing me 10-0. What happens here was very simple, as my Jorgen is not maxed out and doesn't have the health skin done, despite almost 600 of health. As you see, it lost very fast, and the reason of losing Jorgen that fast is because despite was full of health, Dante hit him and then it removed all the strength. So instead of having 500 something or 600 of health, it was having only 100 of health, and then one critical hit from Dante that I didn't see in the testing made Jorgen die, and it's something to take into account in the future when you see videos or you win 10-0, review the video, because sometimes there are these type of risky things. In that case, was simple, what I mentioned, like Jorgen was full of life, but the debuff of Dante leave Jorgen with only 100k of health. It was a critical hit, and then when Nebula was busting Dante, bad luck, and then my Jorgen died. If not, this could have been a good victory. I think I was giving me 100-0, so I think I should have win here, but sometimes you need to be careful in these kind of things, and this is the problem to play sometimes with dirty heroes. The problem was I need to use Astrid for this battle against Octavia, and then I couldn't use against Oya, which is for me, Astrid is the counter of Oya, so I need to go with a weird team. I went with Corvus and Morgan, because they were fire siblings, and I went with my own fire siblings. It was not a good idea because, as you know, you cannot resurrect Kayla because Morgan is around. So it was a risky move, but it went relatively okay. In my test, I didn't lose any hero, and this is the reason I went with this. But I end up here losing Cesar, but I don't care because Kayla is alive, and whereas Kayla is alive, is perfectly fine for us. So finally, we will beat this team. Again, it was risky, but I couldn't use Astrid. In the next match, honestly, like, it was a normal AXA team with Amira. It was Sebastian and Jasmine, what I mentioned before. There you have Fafnir and Astrid, so you don't know which of the 3 heroes Fafnir is going to push up. And then we have the Oya Tristan with Chava and Fire Sibling. This is a common team to see. It's not an easy team, so I want to show you like what I did. Fire Siblings, Corvus Morrigan, Oya, Astrid, and then in this case I put my own Fire Siblings. It's a little bit risky because Morgan will stop my own resurrection, but it worked. It worked as a charm, so then I went with this, and I thought it was a good idea. A little bit risky, as you see the health. at some point, like for example now Corvus doesn't have any health at all, Morgan doesn't have any health at all, Kayla almost doesn't have any health, and Astrid the same, so it was a little bit risky. One small hit from, or critical hit from Oya, and my whole team could have died perfectly. So no ideal, to be honest. I was very risky. It went okay, but this could have gone very wrong. Anyways, victory. At the end, victories are victories. Is what you care, but good luck there. Okay, next battle, very similar that I mentioned before. One team with Oya, another team Dante Octavia, another with Tristan. This is the split I was mentioned before, where Oya and Tristan are now in different teams. Only because you put Oya Tristan, it's easy somehow to counter, so it's better to do like this. In this case, Chava Astaroth, which is a very strong front line, with Oya doing damage, and then you have there Astrid, sorry, and Fafnir. The problem of Astrid is very easy to counter with your own Iris, so it's not a good idea. And I don't know, like I see the point of using in that case Astrid with Oya because you put a lot of pressure in the front line, but I think now it would be better if this was Daredevil, much more difficult to counter. Then the next match, of course, the Oya one, sorry, the Octavia one, Amira in defense with Nebula is very strong with Octavia, in my opinion. If that Dante is a very strong Dante, it will not work. In that case, they use Martha. I think with Faceless is better defense, so Amira Faceless will be a better defense. The idea here is very simple for me, is using Satori to kill everything, using Astaroth for resurrection. Here you see Astaroth died before Satori, so I was lucky. Anyways, I use Jorgen to stop the energy gain, and then use Phobos to focus on Amira, to avoid Amira to ultimate. And then finally, the next match is the one, as you see, this is the one I was referring, the one of Fire Sibling with Tristan, and using also Cascade to get an additional armor penetration. Cascade also does a lot of damage. You use Julius to get critical hits. So this is what I mentioned before, a split of Tristan with Fire Siblings or Tristan with Jasmine and Fafnir, and then Oya, Sebastian, Jasmine time also. It depends what you have done. So it's a split, clearly split between Tristan and Oya in the last teams, because Oya and Tristan is very strong, but it's better to have two good teams than having only one. Okay, so in that case, very similar to always, I did Corvus Morgan. I use Massey almost going to die, but I already have a lot of masses, and then I use Heidi. I think Heidi is not only good versus Octavia, Heidi is also very good versus Fire Siblings. I would like to see Heidi level 80. Super interesting match. The first one with Cascade and Faceless. We will discuss about this Dante later, and then what I mentioned before, a split between Oya and Tristan. Okay, Oya in one team, Tristan in the other. Usually Oya with Sebastian. I prefer Oya, Sebastian, Jasmine, but it's my idea. Related to the Octavia team, I leave it there. Let me see if you see something weird. It was quite fast, so let me see if you see something weird. But TLDR is I play against this team. Against a max out team on the right, level 40 of course. I was getting 100-0 victory. I was not losing any heroes. It was a 100-0, not losing any heroes. Okay, this is going to be super easy. But see what happens in the replay. See, first I was thinking, oh, I'm going to lose City. This is different than in any of the 100 matches I test. But I say, oh no, I recovered City, so it looks like everything goes okay. Okay, it looks like I'm going to destroy this team. And then I lost City. Finally, I say, oh, and then the next is, I lost my two tanks in front of me. I have Maya, which is not a super strong, and Octavia still with Dante, Octavia, with Morgan and Cascade, so I thought I was going to lose everything. And then a miracle happens here. So what happens here was that Dante is a Dante Glyphs 80, and you can see now what is the difference between playing 40 to playing Glyphs level 80. Okay, so be aware of this. Here we have another trend, which is the use of Heidi with Cascade. Using Heidi with Octavian defense has been quite interesting. Using Cascade also. Then we have the normal Oya Tristan with Julius, and then the team above is a little bit weird. So let's go first to see the Oya Tristan. I am showing you this because it's with Julius, and people ask with Julius. That is a very good tank. A little bit lower than what used to be. In my opinion, he needs the talisman sooner than later because very low life, and you can see. But it's a lot of critical hits, a lot of armor penetration and physical attack. So the idea is very simple. When I see Jasmine, I play with my own Astaroth. Oya, I play with my own Tristan, and then I use 2 of nature, so Massive, Mojo, Albanor, 2 of them. In that case, I use Sessa because it's a manner to protect Astrid, and usually works, okay, usually. This is the typical composition I use. Then the next one is the one of Heidi from Octavia. As I mentioned before, like it's very common to see now being used Heidi. I don't like to use Cascade as a 4 position because Cascade doesn't have any life at all. So it's very easy for me going with Maya and Heidi to kill Cascade quite fast, and this is what happens here. And then Jorge will reduce the energy gain, and then Maya and Heidi will start doing more damage. Now I kill Nebula, there is not any more Nebula, Siri is still in front line. By the way, Siri I used more than before versus Octavia, I think it's a very good tank. Okay, here Oya Tristan, nothing related. Then we see a weird Jasmine with Aiden, not very clear, and then Daredevil, sorry, Dark Star, which is something I was mentioned before. I start to see Dark Star a lot, not with Octavia, which I see sometimes, but with combining with Fafnir and Tristan, and then the other team you have Jasmine, Sebastian, Oya. Okay, this was a very difficult team to beat. I couldn't find a clearly 100-0. I think this was 48-2 of victory in my favor, so it was not easy to beat. The idea is I need to kill Phobos and Darkstar as soon as possible. So going with 2 tanks, going with Heidi to do a lot of damage in the back line, and going with my own Phobos to counter Phobos. Okay, it worked, but it was not a clearly victory at all. So I got lucky here. Okay, so here another Nebula with Iris, another split between Tristan and Oya, which as you see is quite common theme as we go and the time passes. I think this is the change. So let's go to see the one with Oya. I think it was quite interesting because they were using Cascade to give armor penetration with Oya. Okay, so it's like, okay, Tristan is in another team, I need armor penetration, I will try to use Cascade. They use Aiden there, I don't know if it's a good idea. The problem here is you cannot use Fafnir because Fafnir will do Cascade or Jasmine at the same time, so it was not easy. At the end, I went with my own Iris Nebula with Dante Octavia, and that's it. Morrigan to avoid the resurrection, and quite easy. As you see, the damage that Iris does is incredible. Okay, so probably this Octavia team was one of the most difficult teams to beat. And then I have below, I have the Oya Tristan that usually I use with Corvus, Astaroth, and with Astrid and Nature, but I need to use Astrid to beat the Octavia team. So what I did is I went with this weird team. I need Astrid with Fafnir and Clever Tristan with Isaac. Okay, the idea of Isaac is to protect the front line and to pull back the team and also give more damage to Astrid. Okay, it was a little bit weird, but it's the manner I was able to avoid Jorge stop of energy gain. It was working quite, in my opinion, quite well. Also, the stance of Fafnir was well against Octavia, but it was a very difficult counter team to find. And then the next team, it was the traditional Julius, but in that case, my problem was I didn't have available Astrid, so I went with the Nebula, Dante, Iris for the marks of Jasmine, and then Martha idea is Jasmine will attack Martha, Martha will charge energy and I will not be able to kill, but here Oya did something super hardcore, which was killing my front line with a critical hit, and I almost lost. I saved because I have the health skin of Iris. Okay, here we have a Chava team with Oya Tristan. I think this team is very strong, but again, you put everything in one place. The second team, it was an Octavia team. Putting Nebula there, Nebula doesn't have too much health, is risky. So let's go first with the Chava, because Chava is always very difficult because you don't know where it's going to stop the team, but because they were playing with Jasmine, I say, okay, I can go with Astaroth, I don't care. Like, I think Chava is more dangerous when you play with Kayla and Aiden, because maybe you stun Corvus when it's going to put Altar, and then if you don't kill Kayla at the beginning, it's a game over. So honestly, I think Chava is a stronger hero to play when you play with Fire Siblings, not with Jasmine. It's my opinion. So you see, quite easy. I went this time with 3 nature heroes, Astrid, Astaroth, because Astaroth is the best versus Jasmine. Then for Octavia, very simple. When I see you are pairing with Nebula at the end, Nebula is 220 of health, as you see there. So I say, okay, let's go with Maya, Heidi. I will kill Nebula very fast. Then I have Sebastian that is 300, also not very strong of health. Let's kill it. The point here is I need to have Mystic Heroes for Heidi is better, and I need to have a wall. This wall was City with and Barry behind to stand the team. You see Nebula die very fast, and then everything will fall apart very soon. Okay, but you say still holding the line, but every time it holds the line, it's more poison from Heidi, more health regeneration by Maya. You see almost all the heroes are green, so it was quite straightforward. Now I kill Aurora. It was a little bit slow, but finally stance and pure damage was the key here. Okay, in this case, we have another AXA team with Amira, a simple Clever with Oya Tristan, and then Cascade with Heidi. Again, Cascade is not a good idea because it has very low health, and then remove all the purpose of using Heidi. Anyways, let's see what happened with Clever and Jasmine. I prefer here to play with 100% with Astaroth, and the idea will be you play with Astaroth with Oya or Astaroth Jasmine, and the other team will be Kella Aiden in a manner that you need to use Morrigan in one team or in the other, right? Because for the resurrection. Anyways, quite straightforward as I mentioned before. Always Astaroth with Astrid, and then two of the nature team, so Masi, Mojo, Albanor, and then Cesa. Okay, and the next match, it was surprisingly for me. I was getting like 100-0, and I don't know what happens here. Okay, in theory I should have gone with Maya, Nebula. I don't know why I went with Octavia here. This was a big mistake from my side. But anyways, like, I thought it was going to be okay when Cascade dies, but you will see what happens. Which is already you see Dante, the health of Dante going down, going down, going down. I lost everything in one row and I say, okay, I am dead. Very bad because it's not that easy clean up as it could look like because is Dante Octavia still around, and now we have Martha and Octavia not doing anything and allowing the other team to regenerate energy. So yeah, not ideal. This was a failure. Again, it's easy to clean, but I should have focused better on putting Maya, Nebula, and two tanks. Maya, Nebula, Heidi, and two tanks. I didn't do it, and I lost. Okay. Here another AXA team, and then Oya Tristan with Kayla. Don't like it a lot. And then Nebula Lian. I like this Nebula Lian team. Okay. So here, always when I see Oya Tristan, you play with Astrid. Then is Tristan, you play with Mojo. Then is Kayla, you play with Corvus. There is not Aiden, you don't need Morrigan. So then you have Albanor and Masi here to do a lot of front damage when Kayla jumps, and also against Julius. It's quite easy victory. Like I will never play Kayla and Julius. I don't like Julius. Honestly, like in the last matches, I have not used Julius at all. I think it's not what the tank used to be. Waiting for Talisman. And then here we have this Lian Amira. It's an interesting team. What I did is Astaroth for Resurrection, all in case. Nebula with Heidi to do a lot of damage in the back line. Cesa to increase the damage that you can do. And also for the magic attack. And then Phobos to target Amira as soon as possible. Okay, it looks easy. It's not that easy to find the team because you will not expect Cesa to work here, but it works well. Last battle of the season, we have here a Cesa with Octavia. Very bad idea because Cesa doesn't have too much health. Then we have what I mentioned before, Oya with Jasmine and Sebastian, and then Tristan in a different team. Okay, so here was quite crazy. I wanted to kill Cesa as soon as possible, so I know that I won't Heidi. And then I say I will try to go with also with Satori, and I put 3 tanks in front of me to protect the whole team. My idea is Satori will kill some heroes, and then the rest will be Heidi. It was a weird team to play. It worked. Also, in this manner, because I have Anbari, I will block the block energy that Jorge does. It will not go to Heidi and Satori. It was a little bit risky. It worked. Okay, at the end is what matters. And then the next battle, as I mentioned before, Oya split from Tristan. So in that case, I like this team. Oya, Jasmine, Sebastian, I think it's very good with Daredevil here, and a good tank in front of you. It could be Astaroth, something like this. It makes these teams quite strong. I went my own Octavia team. I thought I was going to die. As you see, I lost 2 heroes, and the battle is still ongoing. I say what I did, what I messed up, I did. And then this was one of these Octavia matches that you don't know what is going on, but you end up winning. I wanted to leave this for the end, for the last one, because honestly it was a crazy one. Okay, so hope it helps, and see you soon.